Good evening, everybody. This is Caleb here with Indiana Storm Chasing Network. Tonight, we're going to look at the forecast here, short term and long term, to see how it affects us here now that we are starting to move out of our Arctic air intrusion that has been over us here for the past couple of days. Here going forward, here we're going to look at a couple things here. Light snow is going to move in tonight into tomorrow, mainly across central and northern Indiana. We'll talk about that here a little bit more here in a little bit. Temperatures are going to trend closer to average here by the weekend and then next week. We'll take a look at that as well. And we're going to take a look at the upcoming pattern here over the next couple of days and the next couple of weeks, too, as we start to move into February. First and foremost here, our next snow system starts to move in here along a weak cold front that'll be moving in tomorrow across the region. Here's a look at the HRRR model at 11 p.m. tonight. Now, light snow mainly moving in across central and northern Indiana. Not really looking at a big snow system here. There's not a lot of moisture associated with this cold front. That'll be moving through the region tomorrow, but some light snow is possible nonetheless here. Temperatures are going to warm a little bit ahead of the cold front. Here's a look tomorrow afternoon. Here's about 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and 12 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Here you can see temperatures are starting to drop across Illinois and Iowa and Wisconsin, single digits over there, while most of Indiana, despite Northwest Indiana, who are in the teens, most of us will be in the 20s. Even some upper 20s possible tomorrow afternoon before that cold front starts to drape across the state and our temperatures begin to cool down by tomorrow night. As we move after that cold front moves through tomorrow afternoon, again, here is what the HRRR model is showing here at noon tomorrow afternoon. Some lake effect snow showers start to really pick up across northern Indiana. Some of these bands could be quite heavy. Snowfall rates in excess of an inch an hour are possible in some of the heavier bands. These will be moving from northwest to southeast through tomorrow afternoon before they gradually shift out of the more westerly direction, more west, east to west oriented. That'll kind of allow those snow bands to lift out of Indiana and remain into Michigan tomorrow night. But tomorrow morning, nonetheless, a couple of inches of snow are possible there. You also notice a few scattered snow showers are possible throughout the state there, depicted by this model there on those blue blips there across southern Indiana. So some scattered snow showers, not out of the question here tomorrow. Here's our look at our snow totals here. Again, not a significant event at all. Most seeing a dusting, less than an inch of accumulation for most. Heavier amounts are possible across northern Indiana, where there's lake effect bands are expected to be persistent tonight into tomorrow morning, through tomorrow afternoon before lifting north into Michigan. A general 1 to 2 inches up there, although we cannot rule out 1 to 3 inches across St. Joseph County, Elkhart County, maybe Steuben County up in there, or LaGrange County. Really just depends on where those bands set up and how persistent they are. A lot of times lake effect snow bands are known to be deviant. They move from one place to another, but if we can get some persistent banding, 1 to 3 inches, if not maybe an isolated amount up to 4 possible there around the South Bend area tomorrow. After that, our temperatures begin to drop. I know we are going to gradually warm. However, temperatures drop again behind this cold front to single digits are possible Thursday night into Friday morning. Here's a look at our 8 a.m. Predicted temperatures according to the HRRR model. As you can notice there, bitterly cold air across northwest Indiana, where the HRRR really wants to put temperatures near zero or just above zero across northwest Indiana. A little bit warmer the further east and southeast you go, but nonetheless, a colder air mass will be briefly moving in Friday night behind this cold front here. After that, we are looking to trend warmer across much of the region, closer to average, if not above average by Saturday. Here's a look at our Saturday temperatures here. Mid-30s across the majority of the state, but I cannot rule out some mid-40s, especially across southern Indiana, as we move into Saturday afternoon. Here we are at 4 o'clock on Saturday. Pretty pleasant weekend in store for us, really, all things considered. Earlier this week, models were kind of hinting at a wintry system that'd be moving in Friday into Saturday. However, latest guidance has shifted that system out of the area and out of the picture. So not really looking at anything too eventful here this weekend across a lot of the state. And with that said, let's look at the 5-day forecast here. Here we are tomorrow, some lake effect. Here we are in northern Indiana, some lake effect snow showers possible throughout the day tomorrow before they lift north into Michigan here. And then some sunshine makes a return for our Friday. Mostly sunny with a high of 22, low down to 13 though Friday night. So As you notice, so those low temperatures are gradually starting to get warmer, a little bit cooler on Sunday night before warming up by Monday. Mostly sunny with a high of 33, and perhaps some warmer temperatures as we get into Tuesday as well. That'll be monitored as we move forward here. But again, we are on a warming trend here. And here's a look at southern Indiana. Pretty much a similar story here. Scattered snow showers tomorrow again. No real accumulations. Maybe perhaps a dusting for most at best, with as that weak cold front moves through the area. Tomorrow, high of 29, low down to 7. I think everybody across southern Indiana will range between the single digits and about 12 degrees tomorrow night as that cold front moves through. Sunshine makes a return on our Friday, mostly sunny with high around 23 and lows, again, fairly cold, low teens, getting to about as low as 12 degrees there. Sunshine makes a return there midweek after some cloudy skies for Saturday and Sunday. But again, warming temperatures into the weekend here. Highs making a run at 40 degrees on Saturday. I know we have a high of 38 there, but I would not be surprised to see that go up here on Saturday, especially across southern Indiana, close to the Ohio River. Mid-40s are possible down there, how it's trending here tonight. And then as we get a look at the long run, though, a lot of people are asking, where did this cold air come from that has been in place here over the last couple of days? Our coldest air mass that we have seen here in Indiana in the last couple of years. The last time we saw temperatures this cold was December of 2022. Fairly cold. A lot of people remember that as the pre-Christmas flash freeze on that event. Luckily, we did not have a wintry system on the onset of this Arctic air injection this time. However, this Arctic air mass originated all the way up by the North Pole there. You can see that red line there with the star over Michigan. Follow that up all the way to Michigan there, north of the Arctic Circle there, north of Alaska there in the Arctic Ocean up there. This air mass was a polar air mass, originated close to the North Pole. And actually, we shared the cold air with Siberia. So that's called cross-polar flow there. If you look on the picture on the left there and you see that white there, you can kind of see how it's stretched like a teardrop. That cold air is being shared from Siberia, and it's called cross-polar flow because that cold air crosses the Arctic and just happens to come down all the way down to the continental United States there. And there where the reds and the greens kind of meet down there towards Louisiana and Texas. That's your southern extent of the polar jet stream reaching all the way to the Gulf of Mexico and actually brought a significant winter storm over the last 24 hours for areas of the Gulf of Mexico. In fact, 2 to 3 inches are significant for that area, but this winter storm didn't stop there. In fact, double-digit snows have been reported across Alabama, Louisiana, and even Florida. Here's a look at some of the top 24-hour snowfall reports. I do want to make a note. A few additional reports have come in since this map was generated this morning. However, Bobby, Alabama, 11 inches is the winner down there so far in terms of the highest total. But look at how far south these totals are. These are significant. I mean, these are significant totals for Indiana, let alone the Gulf Coast. This is downright crippling for them. Lafayette, Louisiana, 10.5. Milton, Florida, 9.8. Milton actually set Florida's state record in terms of snowfall accumulations ever recorded in the state of Florida. And actually what's significant about that is more snow than Anchorage, Alaska has gotten this entire season. They're sitting at under 5 inches for this entire season. And here Milton, Florida, got 9.8 in 24 hours, which is quite significant. And a lot of these totals are actually greater than Indiana's season totals, especially north of Indianapolis. South of Indianapolis, they're right on par with what we got just a couple of weeks ago, which is not uncommon for Indiana. However, it is extremely rare. In fact, some of these snow totals will not be seen again in our lifetime, likely not seen in our lifetime for areas down there. A lot of these are state records and all-time records that will not be broken for some time, as this was a very rare event for that part of the woods here. But moving forward here on the 8 to 14 day outlook here from the Climate Prediction Center, warmer than average temperatures look to make a return here for the majority of the continental United States. Average temperatures or near average temperatures there in gray, or at least that's how it's trending here, with below average temperatures making a return to Alaska for the first time this season. They've been above average for the majority of the winter season, so Anchorage might finally be able to add to those 4-inch snow totals that they have up there so far. Looking ahead here, here's the European model here. Here are our temperature anomalies. So what this is showing is our pinks and purples there are below average temperatures, close to 30 degrees below average. And this is our Arctic air mass, or what's left of it, that has been in our neck of the woods here over the last 48 hours or so, and that is starting to make its exit. That'll be exiting the continental United States here over the next 24 hours. As you look to the west, though, northwest, notice how we don't have a cross-polar flow of Arctic air, but rather warmer than average air. That is thanks to a ridge that is finally beginning to budge and actually move our way, and then will actually bring temperatures closer to average, if not slightly above average. Here we are looking here at here we are Sunday. As you can see here, that cold Arctic air is no longer showing anomalies 30 degrees below average, but actually closer to average here across the Great Lakes region. Looking at trending between 1 and 7 degrees above average, so pretty much right on par for this time of year. Nothing too significant. Warmer temperatures make a return to Alaska, though, as well as the Canadian prairies there next week as that ridge moves in to the region there. But again, precipitation, though, is not looking too significant during this time frame, though. The overall pattern looks fairly active, but no major snowstorms are on the radar here near term. And here's a look at the European model for our precipitation anomalies here. Your browns and your grays are below average versus your greens and your blues are above average. We are in an official La Nina now, which typically, historically brings above average precipitation to the Great Lakes region, as well as cooler than average temperatures. However, we are seeing cooler than average temperatures, but we're not really seeing the precipitation anomalies follow suit here, at least in the near term here. Long term, we are expecting above average precipitation. However, in the 8 to 14 day time frame here, we are looking at slightly below average precipitation, and that includes Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, and the entire region as a whole. And then here's the GFS model here, a very similar depiction here. In fact, the GFS is a little bit drier than the European model, but still shows a wetter than average period in the near term for our Gulf Coast states, which is right on par with what the Climate Prediction Center has issued here for precipitation during this near term here. Below average or near average for the Great Lakes region, a little bit above average for the central Michigan and the UP. A lot of that has to do with our Clipper systems and our lake effect snow systems that have been moving through the region up there. But as far as large synoptic snows, we are not seeing too many in the near term. Now, the pattern does look to remain active, so there is still a lot of time to get these systems up here, and I think we will see some synoptic snows or some bigger snows here, or at least a shot at seeing some here before winter is over. Again, we still have a couple months of winter to go here. So although we haven't had too many yet, I still think February holds a shot at seeing some here. So with that being said, let's jump to the comments here to see who is in here. We got Kat in here, National Weather Storm Hunters in here. We got a few of you guys in here. Again, if you guin have any questions, feel free to put them in chat here. If you guys miss anything, feel free to go back to the beginning of the chat here or the stream here. And as we went over our weekly forecast here, as well as what to expect here in the near term. So again, thanks for joining us. It's always a privilege to have you guys on here. With that being said, feel free to put any comments or questions you may have in the chat. Otherwise, we'll be on here for a few more minutes here before we hop off. Just want to say, hopefully you guys all stayed warm here over the last couple of days. I know something else to talk about here that we haven't talked about yet is frost quakes. We actually had some reports of frost quakes here in Indiana over the past couple of days here as temperatures really dropped. And a lot of that is from our air temperatures getting extremely cold. But what that does is those cold temperatures reach deeper into the soil and actually flash freezes a lot of moisture sitting in the soil. That frozen moisture then freezes and it rapidly expands. But as that moisture expands, it's pressing against soil or rocks that are either solid in place or already frozen. And that pressure builds and expands until a crack forms in the soil, forming a frost quake. And those cracks can actually be quite violent on a miniature scale and can actually make loud sounds similar to a gunshot or a boom. And in some occasions, you can actually feel them as well. They can rattle your windows, or you can feel them if you happen to be walking outside when those occur. So definitely quite a crazy phenomena there that happened here over the past couple of days here. As we warm up, we probably won't see frost quakes anymore here, at least through the weekend here as we warm up. But definitely quite an interesting phenomena that has happened here across several locations throughout the entire state and the region over the past 48 hours or so. Howdy. Jody asked, when will we see above freezing temperatures in Sanilac County? My feral cats are cold. Well, the good news is good chance here this weekend. We should warm up here by the weekend here. Let me pull up that slide here and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Near term, though, we are going to be cold here for the next couple of days. We have a couple of nights of Arctic air to get out of our way here before we warm up here again. And here's a look at 8 a.m. here. This is Thursday night and a Friday morning here. Our cold front moves through the region tomorrow, bringing really cold temperatures again Thursday night into Friday morning. Single digits to low teens possible region-wide. And then as we move into Saturday, though, temperatures look to warm, slightly above average for the lower Ohio Valley, even Illinois. Look at that, 40s being projected there, nearly statewide. Indiana, a little bit cooler, especially where we have snowpack. Any snowpack will help lower temperatures a little bit at the surface there. Ohio, you're still in the mid-20s here on Saturday afternoon. However, your temperatures will warm up into Sunday and into next week. So again, a gradual warming trend is expected here over the near term here as we move into next week, and it looks to even continue into early next week as well. So gradual warming trend is expected. Again, nothing too crazy. Really more seasonable temperatures for this time of year, if not slightly above average, are expected. So hopefully that answered your question there. With that being said here, any other questions you guys have here, feel free to put them in chat here. Otherwise, we'll be hopping off here. Again, I hope you guys stayed warm here over the past 48 hours or so, as we saw some very cold temperatures. In fact, some of the wind chills that were recorded ranged from -15 all the way down to -30. And if you're in the UP in Michigan, wind chills were recorded up there close to -50. So very, very cold temperatures have been recorded here across the region over the past 48 hours. Luckily here tonight, negative wind chills may be close to zero, but we're not looking at double-digit wind chills below zero for the remainder of the week. So that is some good news to take away here. So with that being said here, guys, I don't see any other questions or comments here in the chat, so we'll probably hop off here. If you guys did miss anything or want to catch up on anything, feel free to go back to the beginning of the chat here, or the beginning of the stream here. We covered some light snow that'll be moving into northern Indiana and central Indiana tonight into tomorrow. Again, snow accumulations generally less than an inch there for most here through Friday night here. A little bit higher across northern Indiana where some lake effect snow banding is expected to set up here. Here's a look at the ACRRR model at noon tomorrow. Lunchtime, you can see scattered snow showers across southern and central Indiana with lake effect snow showers across northern Indiana. Those lake effect snow showers, as we go throughout the day tomorrow, will shift north into Michigan by tomorrow night. But other than that, a few isolated amounts of 1 to 3 inches or 1 to 2 inches are possible. A little bit heavier amounts in the 1 to 3 zone there across Elkhart County in particular, where some banding may be more northwest oriented there. So would not be surprised to see a 3 report isolated or embedded in there somewhere. So with that being said here, guys, thanks for hopping on. Thanks for staying with us here. And we hope you stayed warm here over the last 48 hours here. But the good news is our coldest air of the season is on its way out. And we do have some temperatures that'll be moving into the region here closer to normal here to end the month and to start the month of February. So with that being said here, guys, hope everybody has a great rest of your evening here and a great rest of your week. And we will see you next time.